Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, how's your health? We'll offer ways to optimize your well-being. Then, 'tis the season to be creative. We'll design a craft that helps celebrate the holidays. We'll reveal how technology can help if you have troubles with your teeth. Plus, have you heard of the tiny house movement? We'll take a tour of how small homes could make a big impact on our area. And we'll offer assistance to avoid medical identity theft.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. We usually think of children when we talk about vaccines, but immunizations are important for older adults as well. Dr. Matthew Frantz is here to explain why vaccines are a shot in the arm against serious illnesses. Dr. Frantz is in the family medicine at Metro Health, so welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
How does age play a factor in getting these immunizations?
Well, there's a lot of reasons that people forget as they get older to get vaccines. And as you get older, your ability to fight illnesses declines. There's also a lot of different comorbidities that happen, such as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, congestive heart failure, diabetes. And those things give you higher risks when it comes to getting illnesses, to get different hospitalization rates and increased hospitalization rates. So it's kind of important to make sure that you continue to get your vaccines as you get older. And there are adult vaccines that are very important.
Okay, so we're going to give a list of those vaccines now. Yes. And what I'm going to guess, just the flu shot, right?
Flu's always number one. Yeah.
So tell us about a little bit about the flu shot.
Well, flu shot is a very important vaccine to get. And, you know, we don't immunize people as well as we should with the flu vaccine, and people are afraid of the flu vaccine for the most part. You know, the old adage that, you know, I'm going to get sick if I get the flu vaccine, people worry about, you know, those things, generally speaking, do not happen. Flu vaccine in and of itself decreases hospitalization rates in certain individuals by about 70%, and that's a high percentage. Yeah. And if you have diabetes, it's up to 79% in some studies. So, you know, if we want to keep people out of the hospital, and we all know that once you get to the hospital, you know, there's a bunch of untoward events that can kind of cascade from there.
Seems like the worst place to be if you're sick.
That's what I tell people when they come into the hospital. I say, this is no place to stay. So yeah.
All right. So flu shot we every year, but next on the shot is the pneumonia vaccine.
The pneumococcal vaccine. Excellent vaccine, and that actually only 25% of the people are getting their pneumonia vaccines. After the age of 65, certainly everybody should have a pneumonia vaccine. The pneumonia vaccine is for pneumococcal pneumonia, and you know, I'll go into a little bit about the vaccine itself. The pneumococcal bug itself is encapsulated in like a coat. And what they do is they take portions of that coat, the polysaccharide coat, and they use that to develop the vaccines. So you're never really getting the pneumococcus. You're never injected a bacteria itself. So your body becomes immune to that coat, so that when it sees it come into the system, it knows to fight it. Mm-hmm. And the first pneumococcal vaccine is 23 different types of pneumonia.
Didn't know there were that many types.
Well, there's more than that, because a year later you're supposed to get the subsequent one, which is 13. Now, not everybody you know, gets this vaccine, but it's important after the age of 65 because it gives you lifelong immunity. Oh. And if you can get it earlier, why wouldn't you? I mean, you know, why wait at any point in time? And also, if you have comorbidities like COPD and diabetes, and I keep harping these things, but those people should get the pneumonia vaccine earlier.
Earlier, okay. Third shot is for shingles.
Shingles vaccine.
Which that comes from chicken pox, I guess, right?
Yeah, the varicella virus. Yeah, that's a great one. The efficacy of that vaccine is relatively good, and one thing it does is it decreases your ability, or you decrease your risk of getting shingles by about 50%, and the subsequent sequela to shingles, which is the neuropathy, the nerve pain that people get. That's, you know, you can decrease that by up to 60%.
I don't want shingles. I've had shingles. It's not
very
fun.
painful. And you can get, you know, you can get nerve pain for up to a year
That's awful. Shot is much better.
It's a much easier.
How about the vaccines we got as kids? Is it now time to get, boosters?
Yeah, actually it is. Diphtheria, pertussis, Tdap they're talking about. Everybody should be immunized, against, the tetanus every 10 years. One of the things we're missing, though, is the pertussis vaccine. Pertussis is whooping cough. And, we did real well in immunizing children against whooping cough. And with the advent of people being afraid of vaccines and staying away from vaccines, we're having a lot of families now that are coming down with whooping cough. I had a family of 5 kids that all had whooping cough.
We can keep that from happening. Just get vaccines, right?
Yeah, you would think it's a no-brainer. Huh? So that being said, the adults should get that, especially grandpas and grandmas that are babysitting their young children, because you don't want to be responsible for giving your child or your grandchild whooping cough.
Yeah. Great information. So when it comes to certain illnesses, that old adage, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, is really true. So follow Dr. France's advice and make sure your shots are up to date. My thanks to the doc for this important information about inoculations.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or visit their website, www.metrohealth.org. Next, fancy and festive. But first, had a long day? Bet it's not as long as if you lived life on Venus. This second planet from the Sun, known as Earth's sister, is a bit slow in getting around the rotating. So just how long does a day last if you would visit Venus? We'll uncover the answer when we circle back.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
It would take about 8 months for Venus to achieve one spin on its axis, or 243 Earth days. And interestingly, its rotation is revolutionary since it boasts of spinning backwards compared to Earth and most other planets.
You see all of those craft ideas on Pinterest and on TV, but let's face it, it'd be a lot easier if you had someone right there next to you teaching you how to do them. And that's why we've invited Karen Corvington to join us. Karen is the owner of Creative Events, and she's here to show us some samples of easy-to-make items that she can teach you on your terms. So welcome to the show here. So we got some great ideas here, some things for the holidays, but these are all easy-to-make things that you help people with, right?
Exactly, and what I have today is we had an event yesterday, and these were some of the things that we made. It was a crafting event. And so I created the projects and figured out how much of each thing we needed. And simple things that are nice and fun to do for the family, for adults, everybody. It's just fun. Right here I have a little wreath, and all it is with little felty stickers. Oh. So children of all ages can do it. Just peel and stick, and you can add some extra glue. And here we just have some chenille stems sticking out.
Yeah, that looks like it would be great for a child.
And something that they can give and feel really good about it. Then we have our little cabin. I went a little on the Candyland idea, but you can utilize that in any way. You can make it look more like a cabin. Again, working with the families, you wanted something fun. This was a little more tedious, so it's something to do with the children as well. We have the pine cones. I love working with pine cones because it's something I can do all winter long. Because once it's done off the tree or a wreath.
You've got this pine cone that is holiday.
Yep, and you've got just your pine and some ribbon and some berries. But now I can change that into a door decor for the rest of the winter, utilizing with a little bow and a couple of the pine cones, and then there you've got your set for the winter. And you can also add some snow, as I did with the cabin. You can add little snow to the pine cones.
So they sell cans of snow?
Yes, glitter snow as well.
Ah,
yeah.
All right.
So now today what we're going to be making is our little snowflake. It's very simple, but so elegant. Again, it's something else that can be kept out all winter long because it's a snowflake and we're in Ohio.
All right. So we have to do this quick because this is quick and easy crafts, right?
That's right. So what we're going to do, you've got your greenery and you add some glue to your snowflake and then add your green. You can offset
I could even do this, I think.
Yep. Now you're going to put some glue on the bottom of your flower and tuck it right in there at the base.
Oh yeah, right.
Of the greenery.
Okay, mine's not going to look as professional, I'm sorry.
Now, here's where it gets to be fun. You can add, we have some silver garland here. We have some berries. So you can kind of play with it and see what you like the best.
So instead of this one, I'm going to pretend I just made this one.
There, see, look how beautiful it is. And now you know how to do it.
Yes, and it was easy.
Fast, fun, and easy.
All right. So start a new holiday craft tradition or make one of your New Year's resolutions to increase your creativity. It's easy when someone shows you how. My thanks to Karen Corvington for teaching us these craft tips and tricks. And if you need more ideas and inspiration, use the information that's coming up next.
For craft consults and classes, call Karen Covington of Creative Events at 330-431-9680. Next, talking tech for your teeth. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Need assistance in understanding the opportunities offered by annuities? Then attend a complimentary seminar presented by the Lineweaver Financial Group. The educational event will be held Tuesday, December 8th at 6 p.m. and Thursday, December 10th at 1 p.m. at the Lineweaver offices in Valley View. To reserve your seat, call 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net.
As the year draws to a close, we often take time to look back at what we've accomplished. But for dentist Steve Marsh, that means we have to go back to the future. Steve is here with high-tech ways to take on teeth troubles.
Hi, Lori.
Hello. Well, and we're talking about technology. Strange thing is that as we're waiting to go on, you got a text from a patient.
Yeah, so about 15 minutes ago, I actually got a call first from a patient that said, Dr. Marsh, I broke this tooth. I know it had a root canal. Am I okay with it? So I said, why don't you send me a picture? So this is one of the pictures she sent. She sent me about 7 of them. And so that's sort of one of the things you can do today in dentistry. If somebody has a problem, after hours, they can give you a call. They can show you the picture, and then we can tell her what to do. And because it's had a root canal, in her case, she's fine till Monday, and she'll be in first thing, 7 o'clock Monday morning. We made an appointment for her.
All right, so we turn to technology, phones and everything else, it seems, time and time again in our lives, and that turns out to be true for dentistry as well, right?
Right, we have all sorts of digital things, and usually we start with digital x-rays. Today in dentistry, we have about 90% less radiation with digital x-rays. Also, it's good for the environment because we're not throwing out lead and the plastic with it. And here's one of my assistants, actually, or hygienists rather, showing a patient what's going on. So in the old days as a dentist, you looked in that little picture and you looked on a white background. Now we can actually show them, we can blow it up, we can put it on a TV screen. And what I like is it helps us educate the patient. So if we say that there's a problem or there's something we're interested in, we can actually bring you in on it and you can help us decide what's going on.
Okay, and I'm impressed what you told me about digital impressions now. That goop you had to put into your mouth is all gone.
So no one likes that goop, right? Dentists don't like it. It gets all over and it's really tough for patients. And here's what we do in our office digitally. This is a patient, I was treating her upper 6 teeth. On the left, you see the digital impression. On the right, you can actually see what the camera actually sees. So the camera takes that picture, it makes a digital impression, and then the laboratory will then get a model that's also made digitally, and that digital model is sometimes what they can construct the crown on. So they work beautifully. They fit actually as well or better than the old crowns done the old goop way that you apparently have had experience with.
So, and in some way, you become a digital designer.
Yeah, so one of the other things we can do is we sit down with patients, and if they say, here's what I'd like to accomplish, this is a picture in our imaging room. We have a big widescreen TV, and they'll come in and say, here's what I look like. We'll take some photos, and if they say to me, here's what I don't like, and they'll do it, I can actually draw digitally on that image, and I can change the image. I say, would you like it this? Would you like this longer? Here's what I suggest here. So that before we go and do any bonding, restorative work, veneers, crowns, we're able to actually look at it with the patient, as you and I are looking, look out, and that's how we're able to design their teeth before it actually happens.
That's great. It's picture perfect.
Picture perfect. We actually have, this is a wax prototype.
Okay.
And the wax prototype is something we will often make for a patient before we actually do it. Let me get it angled right for you. And that's what we'll do, so that you have a very predictable result when we go on and we help design it with the patient. So you're sort of co-diagnosing and co-designing.
Excellent. You got some pictures?
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to explain how things have gone digitally. Here's a patient who I just showed you his wax prototype. He had worn his teeth down. They had turned very dark. His wife brought him in. I'm not sure why it took his wife, because you can see he's also worn them down. That's his before. We did that wax pattern. Here he is on the bottom. The teeth are very worn. Before and after, that's with porcelain crowns in the back, porcelain veneers in the front. Again, we designed it digitally before. That's that arch that I just showed you, and we showed the wax prototype. Before, broken down, a lot of old silver, replaced with porcelain in the back. We can now do it all porcelain in the back, veneers in the front. Here's a patient who came to me not too long ago. That's old 2 crowns in the front. I said, what don't you like about it? She said, they dominate. I want things to look better. I want them to flow. We did a wax prototype. We designed it on a computer before and after with porcelain veneers to give her that bright white smile that she's always wanted. Again, designed digitally. This is an extreme case, and I'll probably wrap up with this. A lot of old dentistry. She speaks in a lot of groups. She's well known. She wouldn't smile for pictures. That's the old dentistry, Lori. We did that wax prototype. We designed it digitally. And if we have a second, you'll now see the result. She wanted it natural. She wanted to build in some gradations. But again, we were able to do it, get a predictable result. And today's digital dentistry has really turned things around for patients and made it more pleasant as well.
It's amazing. As Steve has shown, technology is a terrific tool that can help transform your teeth. For more help, give Steve a call. His number's next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, too small or just right? It's time to get up and go, an exercise segment on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carvin from Breakout Fitness. Today we're going to help you work those ever important shoulder cuffs that help to support our rotator cuff. You ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Let's do it. Okay, so this is an upright row using our exercise band. We're simply going to step on the center of the band. We want to kind of offset our feet here so we can make sure we don't lose the band and we don't lose our balance. All we're going to do is start with your hands, palms facing your thighs in front of you. We're going to lead with the elbows, bringing your elbows above your wrists until your fists touch just about the top of your chest, okay? All the way up, all the way down. Remember, good posture. Make sure you're breathing. It's always exhale with exertion and inhale as you're resting. All right, how you doing?
I'm ready to row my boat out
Look
in Lake
at
Erie
that.
this summer.
You got the breathing down, you got good posture. Doing well, excellent. All right, everybody, once again, 12 to 15 repetitions, 3 to 4 sets, and you'll have stronger shoulders. So now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
The biggest news in home construction, the tiny house movement. Jean, one of our viewers, suggested we get to the nuts and bolts about why these very small home sweet homes are becoming so popular. So we've invited Adam Davenport and Nicole Snyder to open the door to this topic. Adam is the Project and Operations Manager for the Detroit Shoreway Community Development Organization, which is involved in a pilot project called the Tiny House Experiment. And Nicole is the co-founder of the nonprofit group The Tiny Things in Life. So welcome to the show here.
Thanks for having us.
So how tiny is a tiny house?
Well, a little bit of a subjective question, but we kind of broaden the term as anywhere under 800 square feet. But the houses we're doing are actually 583 square feet. Okay. And Nicole thinks, or is talking about doing a house that's much smaller than that.
200 square feet, I hear, right? Wow. Yeah, I don't even know if I could stand that.
The size of a lot of walk-in closets.
Yeah. So why is the community development organization involved in going so small with the housing?
Yeah, so we have a lot of vacant lots in the neighborhood that haven't seen sort of typical single-family home development. And Citizens Bank approached us back in January and asked us to kind of think differently about that and do a different housing model. And so we kind of have been exploring that possibility ever since, to put some new houses, some different housing types that you might not see on some lots that don't have houses.
Attract attention to it. So
yeah.
Nicole, you and your partner Justin are planning on building your house. We talked about this. I mean, 200 square feet. Why are you attracted to this movement?
Well, unlike Adam's houses, these 200 square foot tiny houses are built on wheels, can actually travel down the highway. And what attracted us to it as a young couple is they're simple, they're sustainable because they're so small, and you can take them with you when you travel. Since we're young and out of college, who knows where we'll end up. Okay. And lastly, they're affordable because of they're so small, and that attracts a whole broad spectrum of people, from people like us in their early 20s all the way through to empty nesters and retirees who want to spend their money living life and doing the things they love instead of on a house or a mortgage.
Right. So how far are you along in your project?
Well, we planned on building it ourselves, two people with no experience in building, and then we realized that that's actually building a house, and it takes a little more than what we had thought. And now we're looking, we've traveled across the country, talked to a lot of wonderful people, and found out that there's a lot of options in between buying, you can build it totally yourself or buy one completely built. And now we're looking at something in between where somebody builds the shell of it for you. So there's the trailer, the walls, the electric, all that stuff, all done for you.
That sounds better.
Yeah, and so you know you have it safe.
Yeah.
So where in the tiny house experiment are you guys?
Well, it's pretty exciting. We actually just submitted final plans and designs to the city of Cleveland about a couple weeks ago. So we're actually going through the final permitting process, and we should receive that back in a few weeks from now, and we should start building in the springtime. So we're aiming to be done with both the houses by the beginning of June.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very interesting thing you're both involved in. So the tiny house movement is getting bigger every day. To learn more about it, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Adam and Nicole for sharing the big picture about these tiny little houses. And if you have an idea for the show like Jean did, be sure and let us know. Email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv.
For more information, call the Detroit Shoreway Community Development Organization at 216-961-4242, extension 265, or log on to www.citizenstinyhouse.com, or check out www.thetinythingsinlife.org. Next, thwarting medical identity theft.
Here at Metro Health, you know you matter when it matters most. Here, we are the city's best at preparing for the world's worst. Here, we are the only verified burn center in Ohio for adults and children. Here, you'll find exceptional clinicians with extraordinary hearts. So the work we do here at Metro Health makes an impact here, out here, and right here. Metro Health, we're here for you, for all of you.
We have all heard about the very real threat of identity theft, leading to the loss of money, assets, and a bit of your life. However, there is another kind of identity theft, medical identity theft. This goes beyond finances to your health, and it's up 20% this year. Here to explain more is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
So welcome back with a new topic. This is a real problem. Talk about what happens with medical identity theft.
Well, unlike a credit card where someone buys an item for you on your card, with this sort of theft, medical information theft, they'll try to get a prescription or medical treatment based upon the false information they get, the stolen information. And according to AARP, this has gone up a lot, and you theoretically have no limit on your liability, unlike a credit card. According to AARP, 36% of the victims cost them $18,000 or more in false charges. And sometimes they have their premiums go up or their insurance is canceled because of this theft.
Right. I mean, it sounds awful. So, and costly. Is it really that lucrative for this kind of theft?
Well, on the black market, a credit card, if they steal your credit card information, they sell it for like $25. For medical information, they sell it for $2,000. And if you think about it, if you could take someone else's medical card and get a $60,000 operation, it may make economic sense for you.
Yeah, it sure does make sense then. So what do we do to protect ourselves from this medical type of theft?
Well, one thing you can't do is, there's all this hacking that's going on with the big companies, and medical companies are the same sort of thing. The insurance companies can be hacked. You can't do anything about that, but you can use some common step approaches to protect your own information. For example, just like you keep your PIN information, quiet and privileged and secure, same thing with your health insurance card, and your Medicare card, and your Social Security number. Keep it secure. Don't give it to people who don't need that information. Now, when you go to the doctor's office or a hospital, you're going to have to give them some of that information. But they're governed by HIPAA. They can't just release it to anybody. But make sure you don't inadvertently give someone information regarding your Medicare numbers or any of your medical information that don't need that information.
Any other tips quickly?
Well, there are a few others. Number one, you get those reports from your health insurance, what you've used for the month. Take a look at them. Look at them carefully. Make sure that there's no discrepancies in it. You also, every year you should get a list of all your medical treatment and go through that and see if there's anything on that. And look at your credit card report. You can get those annually from the 3 reporting agencies. Take a look at it, see if anything has popped up, anything, but in particular, anything that looks like a medical expense you're unaware of. And if there's any problems, report it to the credit agencies and tell them that you've noticed some fraud.
All right, good advice. Everyone understands the seriousness of financial identity theft, yet many people don't realize that a loss of their medical records might be even more costly. Don't risk it. Follow Mike's tips to protect your medical identity. It can happen to anyone. Don't let it happen to you. For more information, give Mike a call at the number coming up next.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, we've got lots more great information for you. But in the meantime, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
If you'd like to join our kitchen conversation, visit our website, www.goldenopportunities.tv. Like us on Facebook. Call us at 440-742-GO-TV or email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We'd love to hear from you.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.